Hi, and welcome to the Frog Pond School of Design, where we like to have a good time just talking about architectural issues. Today I want to talk about something that you may be familiar with. It's called an Inglenook. No, I'm not talking about the winery. I'm talking about part of a house. The Inglenook goes back to ancient England, Great Britain, where it's cold and wet all the time. The fire that heated homes at one time was right in the middle, and the smoke went up, and you'd have a window open or something, and it'd find its way out. But sometime around the Middle Ages, this fire moved over toward an outside wall and became sort of the fireplace that we know today. But there were needs for other things going on. They wanted to stack their firewood. There might be a log that was too big to go on a normal in a normal fireplace. So the hood that was over this, that was designed then to gather the smoke and urge it out of the home, got bigger and bigger to the point where it was essentially a room within a room, and the Inglenook was born. Now, there are obvious uses going on here. You know that at that time the cooking probably went on in these spaces, and there might be bread rising, there might be clothes drying, and as I mentioned, the firewood that was in there, maybe tomorrow's firewood getting warmed and dried today so it would burn better when the time came. We didn't see these around in our part of the world very much, simply because it's not cold and wet all the time here like it is in those northern climes in Great Britain. But they still show up. You can still see some of these in older English homes. But let me show you some examples. Here is a classic old Inglenook. You can see the big old beam across the top, and the space is set back in there so it could kind of hold the heat, and all those functions that I talked about could be going on in there. The problem is, what's happened is it's become modernized, and people have thought, well, this is kind of a cool idea. Now, this isn't all that modern, and it's very attractive with the woodwork and everything else, but you have to wonder, how functionally secure it really was. Was it necessary for heating purposes, or is it an element of decoration? Well, speaking of an element of decoration, get a load of this one. Not exactly what I would call an Inglenook. It is a room, and it's kind of the fireplace room, I suppose. But it's still tucked under the stair where you've got space for it. And this one, doesn't conjure up as much nostalgia as the old original. There's something very real and genuine about this. So, a good old Inglenook, yeah, it'd be kind of nice to curl up in on a winter's day and read a book or whatever, or your wintertime jobs, your mending, your handwork, that sort of thing. That's kind of what it was used for back in the day. So, hope you appreciate knowing just a little bit more about the Inglenook. It's a term I had heard for a long time before I really realized what it was and learned a little bit more about it myself. Wouldn't mind having one to curl up in on a January morning, right? Thanks for joining us today at the Frog Pond School of Design. Before I forget, I want to let you know that you can leave a note if there's something you'd like to hear me discuss or a question you have. And I'll look forward to seeing you hanging around the pond again real soon.